there's another guy that I want to talk about, and that is Stelarc. Most of the people I'm talking about are, well, all of them are related to music. Stelarc, I was in New York working at a place called Young Filmmakers Video Arts, long name. Now it's called Film Video Arts. Anyway, so I was in scheduling, and anybody that came in had to talk to me. So I'm behind the counter one day, and my friend Dub came in with another guy. Said, "Steve, you got to see this. You got to see this. There's a guy on 11th Street. He's got hooks in his body, and he's suspended from a pole over 11th Street." And I think I went white and said, "I don't want to see that. I just no interest in it whatsoever." And the guy's name was Stelarc. So then about 1 or 2 years later, I'm in Tokyo, and I'm in a bookstore, a little tiny bookstore called 360, I think it was. And I see a friend of mine from New York, and his name's Dragon. He's an artist who does hundreds of pencils. He would have sheets of rubber with pencils in them, and then throw them at the canvas. And he'd been doing it for so long that he actually was in control. It wasn't just chaotic stuff. So
wow.
Very impressive stuff. So anyway, Dragon said, "Steve, I'm going to see Stelarc." And Stelarc being the guy that suspended himself, and I...
Had you remembered the name?
Oh, yeah, Stelarc, yeah. Stelarc, very memorable. And so we took the train to Stelarc's house and met him, and just great guy, normal, as we all are, and we became friends. And the ironic thing is that what was supposed to be his last suspension, I documented that.
Right. The same as...
Well, it was in Tokyo, and it was at an abandoned monorail station. So it was kind of this futuristic but yet abandoned place, and he was suspending his body, and I was...
With the books?
With the books. But why does this tie in with audio or music? Because at that suspension, he was recording or amplifying his heartbeat and the sound of his muscles. And he'd actually done a lot of recordings of the sounds of the body. So I'm kind of squeezing him in under this independent music thing, because at the time, and even now, that's very interesting and important work. Amplifying the heart, the sound of the muscles. He also had made a third arm. So he's suspended from this steel girder in this abandoned monorail station, and that's unusual enough to see a guy floating, and he can't control it, so he's kind of spinning depending on the Earth's gravitation or whatever, and the wind, and then he's controlling this third arm with his mind, which again at the time this was 88, 89, which is, now it's interesting they can do it with iPhones and all kinds of stuff. Everything's become smaller. So anyway, that's my Stelarc thing. And Stelarc has come to Singapore. And
how had you personally developed? If you're too sensitive to see him in New York, but then the next time you filmed
I was just a pale waif in New York. Golly.
Okay. Straight from the farm.
Straight from the farm. Straight from Rochester. Well, and still, I mean, that's an unusual thing to see somebody suspended. And again, it's not like my friend walked in with an iPhone or a phone and said, "Here's a photo of this guy." I mean, his excitement was that it was somehow cool and unusual, and that I should see it, which, kind of flattering in a way. But I just said, I thought maybe it was going to be bloody, but it's actually very beautiful. There are photos of him suspended above the skyline of, I think, Copenhagen, and it's a strong image. And the one that I was supposed to, the one that I documented was supposed to be his last one, because after a while, as you get older, there's a danger of the skin not being able to support that and ripping.
Good grief.
So he's actually done, I think, one or two after that, but that was the last one of a considerable height.